The Age of Aquarius. What is it? What does it mean? And how does it apply to us? Let's talk about it. Our planet and our solar system are surrounded by 12 major constellations that we call the zodiac. These are huge, huge heavenly bodies with tremendous energies. And periodically, we come into alignment with one of these constellations at a time. And when we come into alignment with that constellation, we say we are in the age of whatever that constellation is. Now, we're talking about astronomy here, the movement of heavenly bodies throughout cosmos. We're not talking about the astrology that's in newspapers and magazines for entertainment. This is science. This is real. So, the ageless wisdom teachings tell us about it, as do astronomers. Astronomers have a name for the change of the ages, and if you go and talk to an astronomer, they will tell you that they call it the precession of the equinox. We call it the changing of the ages. Well, for the last 2,000 years, every 2,250 years, something like that, we change our alignment to the next constellation. And for the last 2,000 years, we have been in alignment with the great constellation Pisces. Whenever we come into alignment with a new constellation, we receive a great teacher. And that teacher brings forward to humanity the next teaching that will contribute to humanity's evolution, to our learning and growing. Well, 2,000 years ago, we actually got two teachers. We got the Buddha, who taught the wisdom of God, and Jesus, who taught the love of God. Jesus was the first human being to embody the love of God on planet Earth and brought that teaching of the love of God. Jesus knew he was the teacher who came to inaugurate the age of Pisces. The symbol for Pisces, of course, is the fish. And there's all these fish analogies in the Christian Bible, which is no coincidence, right? He said, I'll make you fishers of men. He fed the crowd with fish. He chose some of the fishermen to be his disciples. So Jesus knew exactly what he was doing and what he was here for. Absolutely. He was the teacher for the age of Pisces. Well, now the astronomer will tell you that in 1625, we started moving out of the influence and alignment with Pisces. And in 1675, we started moving into alignment with the next constellation, Aquarius. So in 1675, we started moving into the age of Aquarius. And what that means is that Piscean energies are being withdrawn. Aquarian energies are flooding into our planet now. Well, what were the Piscean energies? The two primary energies of Pisces that have been bombarding our planet for the last 2,000 years to help the planet evolve, the two primary energies were individuality. Man has come out of the herd in the last 2,000 years. Strong individuals now on this planet. And dedication to an ideal. It was dedication to the ideal of freedom that saved the world in World Wars I and II. So Pisces has pretty much done its job for humanity and is on its way out. The two primary energies of the new constellation, the new age of Aquarius, are cooperation, working together, and synthesis, combining energies and efforts. So cooperation and synthesis are the new primary energies to help humanity evolve. So these little individual dictators and corrupt individuals who exist in the world right now, their time is over. The time of the individual is over on this planet. They just don't know it yet. And now it's time for groups. My information is that even the President of the United States will no longer be one individual, but will be a panel of wise people. Makes sense to me. And I suspect we'll see that same kind of evolution happening in different countries around the world as time goes on. So Aquarian energy supports groups in action. That's why in the United States a few years ago, people marching in the streets could save our health care. They had that tremendous energy of Aquarius working for them and behind them to make their goal happen. So Every time we get a new age, we get a new teacher, right? The teacher for the age of Aquarius is here now in a physical body that he made. He can't be destroyed, doesn't need to eat or sleep, can't be killed, and will be with us for the next 2,000 years, walking the planet, making suggestions. His name is, my personal name is Dick. His personal name is Maitreya. Maitreya is Sanskrit and means the one who brings joy, the happy one. Maitreya comes not as a religious teacher at all, and he doesn't come to force anything upon us. Our free will is sacred, and he knows that. My information is that he comes to teach the will of God. Buddha taught the wisdom of God. Jesus taught the love of God. Maitreya comes to teach God's will and the purpose behind that will. Well, you know the old saying, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. It must be true then that humanity is ready to seriously start doing God's will. And we'll learn the purpose behind that will, God's purpose behind that will. We've all been wondering what our purpose is here. Philosophers over the ages have tried to figure out what our purpose on the planet is. Well, now we're going to find out. The masters are going to teach us that and give us a chance to live it. It's up to us. Like I said, we have free will, so we need to choose. We can choose to learn from the teachers, because Maitreya doesn't come alone. Other masters will be here. Ascended masters will be here with him. He'll just be the first one to come forward and the one to do the primary teaching. We will learn from the teachers about why we're here and who we are and what our purpose is. Wonderful, wonderful things to learn that people have been wondering about for a long time, like I said. So this is a great time to be alive. The Age of Aquarius will be with us for the next 2,250 years, and Maitreya will be with us walking amongst humanity for the next 2,250 years as well. By the way, one of the masters that will be back with Maitreya in a physical body, walking the planet with us, making suggestions, which we can either follow or not follow, act on or not act on, is the great teacher, Jesus of Nazareth. Jesus will be back. He is currently here in a physical body living in the outskirts of Rome. The Pope and a couple of his closest cardinals know he's here. They have been asked not to say anything because the minute they do, the whole Catholic Church will believe that Jesus is here. Well, that's not how it works. We have to recognize these people ourselves. We need to recognize Maitreya as the world teacher and recognize Jesus as having returned. My understanding is Jesus' job will be to head up the Christian church. There'll be no more popes. Jesus will sit at the head of the Christian church in St. Peter's throne, so to speak. And his job is to get the Christian church back in line. All the major religions of the world have lost their way. They've come up with all these man-made laws and dogma that were not part of the original teachings. Jesus will bring it back. So, Maitreya is here. Jesus is here. They're waiting for the very best time to come forward, which I think will be in the next few years. And you will see them both standing side by side on television and hear them on radio when this happens. The Age of Aquarius is here. Changes will be coming fast. Good changes. Changes for the benefit of all of humanity, but we have to do the work. We made the mess. We have to clean it up. The masters will give us suggestions in every aspect of life. You see, the institutions that humanity has now, education, government, finance, healthcare, all of the institutions we have now were built with Piscean energy. And Piscean energy is being withdrawn. And the Aquarian energy that's coming in, we need to work with that. Then we can recreate these great institutions on the basis of cooperation and synthesis to serve humanity well for the next 2,000 years. So it's a time of change. And because these two energies are crossing the planet right now, we have chaos on the planet. That's what happens. The old Piscean thinking is hanging on, doesn't want change. The new Aquarians are thinking, yes, we see the need for change. We can't wait for it. And so people are farther apart now, ideologically, than they've ever been. This will pass because we will come closer together and see the need to work together. This is a time of going from competition to a time of cooperation. We're moving from a time of me, my best self-interest, to a time of we, our best self-interest. What can we do for each other? So there's going to be wonderful, miraculous changes happening, and many of them in our lifetimes. The Age of Aquarius, a great time to be alive.